And we are live. Thanks for coming to check out the stream, guys. As always, we'll give it a minute or two before I jump into it. Let me tweet out the stream here really quick. Yo, what up, Matthew? Thanks for coming to check out the stream again. Week 5, let's go. What's going on, Gail? You guys won NBA last night? I'm just tweeting out the stream. You know it. Let's go. Yep, cash is 192. That's solid. I think I was like 194, 195. But overall, it was a pretty solid night. I don't know if I'll okay. There's only one game today for NBA, which is a little disappointing. That's 33 single entry is where it's at. You playing Boston game? Yeah, I'll be playing it for sure. Don't think I'm gonna make a video for it or a live stream since it's only one game. We got a 4-game slate tomorrow, but yeah, I'll be playing the showdown slate for sure. One more minute and I'll jump into it. I got some nice overlay in one of the contests. Yeah, there's a good amount of overlay. I should have entered. I was debating entering the $180 tournament. Didn't end up doing it, but I definitely would have cashed if I did. I was only like 40 out of 67, so there was some big overlay in the higher dollar GPPs. All right, but yeah, let's just I'll jump into it here. So, before I get into the prices here, let's look at the over-unders really quick one more time and what they're at. So, Arizona, Cincinnati's at 47. The Falcons and Texans are at 49.5. Baltimore and Steelers are 44.5. Bills, Titans, 39. Bears, Raiders, 39.5. Jags, Panthers, 41. The Vikings, Giants, 43. There's a lot of really ugly games. I talked about that in my early look video, but there's a lot of really ugly games in the slate. Patriots, Redskins is 41.5. Jets, Eagles, yuck, 43. Tampa Bay and the Saints are 46.5. Broncos, Chargers, 45. And then the Packers and the Cowboys at 46.5. Yo, what up, Andy? Let's get right into it. Yep, let's do it. I'm rolling with the GPP, Ryan, Julio, Ridley stack. Definitely viable. I mean, that's the highest over-under game of the slate. I think it's going to be a pretty popular game to stack for sure, but definitely like that. I mean, Atlanta should be playing from behind. They're playing from behind almost every single game this year, so definitely don't mind that at all. But okay, let's start with quarterback, and I'll go over plays I'm thinking for cash games and GPP. So let's start with cash games. We'll start with the cheapest option first. Cash game of 4.7K, Joe Flacco. I mean, again, you're not going to feel great about playing Joe Flacco here. I know he doesn't have huge upside, but look at his game log. For three of his first 4 games, he's reached almost 15 fantasy points. Denver should be playing from behind in this one. Plug in Joe Flacco in your cash game lineup. As one of the cheaper options, you can get a lot of your studs in your lineup. So don't hate the idea of going Joe Flacco for cash games. Other cash game quarterbacks. Let's see. Andy Dalton's fringe cash game playable. It's close just because he's really boomer bust, but we know the upside's there. So I don't know if I would consider him a cash game. He's fringe cash game playable in my opinion. I think Matt Ryan's pretty safe for cash games at 5.9K in the highest over under of the slate. Should be a lot of points scored in this one. So I think Matt Ryan sitting at 5.9K seems pretty safe for cash games. Other quarterbacks, I mean, I think Dak and Aaron Rodgers are okay. And then you're getting to the higher options with Jameis, I think is viable. Kyler Murray, I really like him for cash and GPPs. I guess he's fringe cashing viable too. I mean, this game could go one of two ways. It could be a really slow, grinded out game, or it could just turn into a shootout. But I like this game a lot for GPPs. And then if you have the salary, you can definitely get to Deshaun Watson at 6.7K for cash games. Same with Lamar. Like, these two guys are still in play for cash games if you can get some cheaper options that you feel comfortable with into your lineup. Now, as far as GPPs go, again, I like the upside a lot for these two guys, Lamar and Deshaun Watson. They both have a high floor, especially Lamar with that rushing upside. I think he's really safe with a good amount of upside. Again, same with Deshaun, the highest over under the slate. He had an off week last week, but I think this is the bounce back spot because look at what Marcus Mariota did to Atlanta last week. He just lit them up, and we know Marcus Mariota, definitely not one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. So Deshaun Watson, I think, is all the stars should align for him to have a pretty solid game. Brady's a guy that I never really target quarterbacks that are favored, by a couple touchdowns. Like Brady's favored. I think New England's favored by at least 2 touchdowns, right? 17 points. Yeah, so the concern with playing Brady is that New England just gets off to an early lead and then it's going to hand it off to Sony Michel, and you're just not going to get a whole lot of fantasy goodness. So I don't like targeting quarterbacks in high or when they're favored. Same thing with Wentz here, going against Luke Falk. I mean, Philadelphia should win this one easily. I'm just concerned that Philly gets off to an early lead, and then it's just Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard up the middle. So that's my concern with those quarterbacks. That's why I never really target those quarterbacks when they're favored, big favorites. But other quarterbacks for GPPs, I obviously talked about Kyler. Really like him and Andy Dalton. Again, this game's risky, but 2 really bad defenses. I think it could turn into a shootout. Jameis Winston, same thing here at 6.2K. You can pair him with Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. I mean, that's worked out a lot here in the first 4 weeks. You could also look to O.J. Howard as a pairing, who I think is going to have a big game coming here soon. Let's see. Hey, buddy, what's up, Dan? Got a real sneaky play I want to go over with you. Jake Cooper note. Yeah, so I like him. I'm just concerned. I don't know who is going to get the snaps for Green Bay as number 3 receiver, so let's just go over that really quick. I do like his upside. Like Aaron Rodgers likes the guy a lot. We just don't know who's going to get the snaps. Let me go to the snap counts actually really quick for Green Bay. Kind of getting off track, but I do want to go over this really quick. So that is a good point. I mean, he does have some upside. So when Devontae went out, it was Darius Shepard picking up those snaps as the number 3 receiver. But they also have Trevor Davis. They have Kumaro. So it's tough. Like, I get it if you want to take a shot here. It's just I think it might be a combination of those 3 wide receivers filling in for that number 3 role. So it's probably going to be a stay away, but I get it if you want to go there. Again, Rodgers really does like that guy. Andrews at tight end I'm liking. Yeah, Andrews is a guy that let me go to Baltimore really quick. I like his upside. It's just the thing that concerns me with him is the snaps are never there. Like 42, 53, 53, 42%. Now, it doesn't really matter because when he's out there, he's running routes and he's getting targeted, but the concern is, like I said, Nick Boyle's playing out there like over 50% of the snaps. They still use Hayden Hurst a bit too. So they have other tight ends in the mix. That's always the downside with Mark Andrews. And he's been dealing with that foot injury, but I get it. I mean, he has flashed upside in, 3 of the last 4 games. Snap counts might be deceiving because he was hurt for 2 games. Jake Kumaro was? I did not know that. But yeah, like I said, those Green Bay receivers, it's probably going to be a stay away as far as the number 3 receivers go. But back to quarterbacks and back to GPP plays. I think it was on Jameis here, 6.2K. Again, that Tampa Bay offense, this is one of the higher over-unders. The slate, it's in the dome. There should be some points scored. So you could definitely pair Jameis with one of those receivers or O.J. Howard. Still don't have a great feeling about Green Bay and Dallas as far as Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott go. If I was going to pick between the two, I think I would lean towards Dak because he has that rushing upside. But I like the running backs in that game a lot more with Aaron Jones and Zeke Elliott. Again, Matt Ryan definitely in play for GPPs as well. Andy Dalton's a GPP play just because he's a little more boomer bust. But we have seen the upside on Andy Dalton in previous years. He has it in him. Going up, it's probably the worst defense in the league. So Do like Andy Dalton for GPPs. And then other than that, it's kind of a stay away. I mean, I do kind of like Minshew, but Jacksonville really wants to establish the run. Oh, Kirk Cousins for GPPs. I know he's been awful, but the talk around town is like the receivers aren't happy. Everyone's unhappy. So I could see Minnesota really focusing on trying to establish the passing game. Diggs, the whole Diggs situation, he's active, I think, but that does worry me. Maybe he sees limited snaps because he missed practice there Wednesday. So I think if I was going to play Minnesota guys in GPPs, I would stack Kirk Cousins with Thielen. I don't think a lot of people will be on it just because, again, Kirk Cousins has been terrible. We have seen it. Like, he's still a decent quarterback. We saw the upside last year. Thielen and Diggs were really solid wide receivers. Kirk Cousins had some upside games last year, so he has it in him. This is a good get-right spot going up against the Giants. So if you're making multiple lineups, I don't mind taking a shot there on Kirk Cousins GPPs. Bridgewater's okay at 5.2K. Doesn't really have huge upside, but one of the higher over-unders of the slate. And then that's really it. I mean, I don't want to go Falk. I don't want to go Derek Carr, Mariota, pass on a low over-under. Chase Daniel, no thanks. That's really it. So, let's see. Oh, no worries, dude. I mean, I'm happy to answer whatever questions you guys got. But yeah, running back goes. So I like spending up on running back. There's a lot of good options at the top end as well as the mid tier. Christian McCaffrey, I'm still torn on. I don't like playing players in tough matchups, but he's, again, matchup proof. He's going to be out there the whole time. He's utilized so much in the passing game. I'll just tell you guys right now, I don't have him in my lineup. I'm only playing GPPs, but I don't feel great about it. I think if you're playing cash games, you got to definitely consider him just because the floor is so high. But right now, I currently don't have him in my lineup. I don't feel great about it. Only playing GPPs again today, but yeah, don't feel great about not having McCaffrey in your lineup. I think he's really safe. Kamara would only go there for GPPs, but I do like the upside. Again, he does have the upside in him with no Drew Brees, putting up 37 fantasy points there in week 3. Dalvin Cook, I think, is really safe for cash games. I think Dalvin Cook, if you're targeting Minnesota guys, he's the guy in cash games. For GPPs, I think you go Kirk Cousins and Thielen. But yeah, going up against one of the worst teams in the NFL defenses-wise, Dalvin Cook should have a pretty good day. And he's involved in the passing game a lot. And then Zeke, again, I really like the running backs in this game. He was out there basically the whole time last time out against New Orleans. And yeah, I mean, he gets involved in the pass game. We saw it with 6 touchdowns, 7 targets last week. And if the game stays close, he's going to be out there like the whole time. Green Bay just got gashed by the run, too, against Chicago last week. So I do like Zeke a good amount here at 8.3K. David Johnson's a guy I like the upside in GPPs. I think he's fringe cash game playable. I know he's going to be pretty popular, but I like him a good amount for GPP just because Arizona is so thin at wide receiver. And he's basically like a wide receiver, too. Like, they don't utilize him that much in the rushing game with, 7, 11, and 11 attempts the last 3 games. But he's utilized so much in the passing game that I do like his upside there for GPPs. Again, Melvin Gordon's a stay away. They're going to limit him. Don't want to go there this week. Le'Veon's a stay away as well. With Luke Falk running the show, it's just a complete stay away. I mean, the price is like pretty appealing, but I just can't do it. That Jets offense should be a mess, so it's going to be a stay away for me. Eckler would only go for GPPs. They said he's going to play a lot. Again, we don't know what a lot means. I'd assume like 75% of the snaps if I was guessing. But he's definitely viable, and the Chargers are pretty thin at wide receiver. They could even run Austin Eckler out wide a few times. Fournette's the guy I really like for cash games as well as GPPs. He's out there basically the whole game. He's being utilized in the passing game. Carolina's a defense I'm not too scared about. So even if Jacksonville is playing from behind, I mean, Fournette's still going to be out there basically the whole game. So he's basically game script independent. So I do like Leonard Fournette a good amount here at 6.4K. I think for cash games, one of the safer running backs. Mark Ingram, I'll pass. Same thing with James Conner. Mixon's a guy I like for GPPs. Don't know if I can go there for cash, but I like the upside on him. Again, he was out there against Pittsburgh. Like the first 3 quarters, he was out there basically the whole game. And then in the 4th quarter, when the game got away, it was all Gio. So I think if this game stays close, we could see a heavy Joe Mixon usage. And I think the breakout game could be coming from him soon. I like it here. So for GPPs, would definitely consider Joe Mixon. Aaron Jones is a guy that I do like too with no Jamal Williams. Should be pretty safe for like 80-85% of the snaps. The last 2 weeks on the ground have been tough with 10 for 19 and 13 for 21. But if he's going to be out there basically the whole game at 5.9K for a workhorse back, I think you got to consider him for cash as well as GPPs. Now, Sony Michel's interesting here. I think Rex Burkhead, let me go to New England. Rex Burkhead is out, so it's going to be Sony Michel and James White. I think the carries are going to be pretty secure for Sony Michel. And again, New England should be playing from ahead here. I don't see James White getting too many carries. And, maybe Brandon Bolden steals a few. But really, I think the carries going to be pretty safe now for Sony Michel. So I think he's actually cash game viable as well as GPP viable. Again, Washington's defense, nothing to be scared about. New England should be playing from ahead in this one. So I think Sony Michel's the guy that I'm definitely considering as well in the mid-range. And then below that, it's basically a stay away from everyone else. I mean, Wayne Gallman just in play because his pass-catching ability. Same thing with Freeman. Don't feel great about either of those guys, though. David Montgomery's interesting at 5.2K, but Chicago playing with a backup quarterback. That game should be pretty ugly. Chris Thompson, you could look for GPPs. Washington should be playing from behind in that one. And then it's kind of a stay away from the rest of these guys. Again, I really like the top guys and the guys in the mid-tier. So that's how I kind of want to build my lineups, is start with a couple running backs up top or a couple guys in the mid-tier, then going from there. Let's see. Deshaun Watson, Zeke, David Johnson, Hopkins, Fuller, Tate, Eifert, Mixon, Buxty. Yeah, I like that upside a lot in that one. You got the correlation with Deshaun and Hopkins as well as Fuller. Tate, I really like as a cheap option. Eifert's going to be pretty popular. Mixon, I like the upside there. Yeah, I like that lineup a decent amount. So let's go to wide receiver. So like I said, I'm kind of spending up on running back, and so that's where a lot of my salary is going. So I'm kind of avoiding the top receivers. I'm not saying you guys should. Just the way that I'm building my lineups, I'm going with heavy the top running backs. But DeAndre and Julio, I talked about this in my game stack video. You could 100% run a lineup with Deshaun Watson. And then, here, let me go to that game actually really quick. With Houston and Atlanta, there's a lot of options I think would be pretty popular. Obviously, the big upside here is with Julio and DeAndre, so you could run a lineup like that. But guys like Calvin Ridley and Will Fuller, I think are going to be pretty popular as well, but for good reason. I mean, this game, again, the highest over under the slate. Ridley and Fuller are kind of the same for me. They're both boom or bust, but I like the upside here. Will Fuller is yet to have a breakout game. A lot of people are talking about him at 4.5K. It scares me that I'm fading him. Like, I don't have Will Fuller in my lineup, but it definitely scares me. Like, the upside is there. He has big play upside. Same thing with Ridley. They're a little more boom or bust, but those are two guys you could also consider. As well as Kiki Cutie. So Kenny Stills is out. So that's actually pretty big news. Kiki Cutie should be playing most of that number 3 role of 3.4K. Let me actually go to how many snaps did he play last time? Where's Houston? So Kiki Cutie. Yeah, so when Kenny Stills went down, Kiki Cutie basically played all the number 3 role. So what I think we can expect 50 to 55% of the snaps is pretty safe. So, yeah, he's definitely viable as a really cheap option. And yeah, that's kind of it. But I do like that game as part of a game stack. I think it's going to be popular, but there should be a lot of points scored in that one. Michael Thomas is too cheap in my opinion. Yeah, Michael Thomas is a guy I like a lot for cash games. The targets are there. But yeah, let's get to Keenan Allen's another guy that I think is going to be really popular for cash games. Did Mike Williams get ruled out? I'm actually not sure. Hold on. Where are the Chargers? He'll be good to go. Okay, so, I mean, Mike Williams will be out there. I don't know how many snaps he'll play. Definitely wouldn't go targeting Mike Williams, but yeah, the targets should be really safe for Keenan Allen at 7.3K. I think he's going to be really popular for cash games. Definitely seems really safe just because the targets are so secure. Did have a kind of a down week there in week 4, but the Chargers got off to an early lead. So that was the downside there. But I think Keenan Allen seems pretty safe. And then Mike Evans, Godwin for GPPs. Again, we've seen the upside with these guys in week 2 and 4 for Godwin. I mean, the upside's there. And then in, week 3 for Mike Evans, he had the big week. So yeah, I mean, both those guys for GPPs, you could pair him with Jameis Winston. Don't mind that at all. Thielen would only go there for GPPs, but I do like pairing him with Kirk Cousins, just because I think a lot of people are going to be off Kirk Cousins now. But I think the upside is still there. So we'll target that for GPPs. Now, Michael Thomas for cash games at 6.6K seems really safe. I think he's going to be one of the more popular receivers for cash games, but I mean, it's just the targets, right? 13, 13, 7, 9. Playing in the Dome, this one should be one of the higher scoring games. So I know it's downgraded to Teddy Bridgewater, but it's just a price tag thing with Michael Thomas, right? 6.6K is just too cheap for him. So I do like this mid-range. Michael Thomas, Tyler Boyd, and Larry Fitzgerald in the mid-range. 3 guys I like a lot for cash games. With no John Ross, I mean, there's more targets to go around now for Cincinnati. Really like Tyler Boyd. I'll get to some cheap receivers in a second this game that I do like too, but I mean, 12, 10, 11, 6 targets. Arizona, again, one of the worst defenses in the league. Tyler Boyd seems pretty safe for cash and GPPs. Same thing with Fitzgerald with both Christian Kirk and Bird out. The targets are going to be so secure here. So I really like him for cash as well as GPPs. Those 3 guys in the mid-range, again, Michael Thomas, Tyler Boyd, Larry Fitzgerald, all seem really safe for me. So if you're building cash game lineup, wouldn't mind targeting those guys. Other receivers against Stephon Diggs, you could give a look to, but the whole him missing the game, he's going to be active. Maybe he gets less snaps. I don't know. That does worry me a bit with him. Now, MVS and Geronimo get a huge boost in no Devontae Adams, so they're definitely viable in the mid-range as well. MVS is at 5.6, and then Geronimo's at 5K. So both those guys 100% in play. Terry McLaurin should be playing from behind here. Don't hate it, I guess. Emmanuel Sanders I like a decent amount here at 5.1. It's just the price is not up on him enough. He had one down week, but other than that, 18, 28, and 19 fantasy points in a game that Denver should be playing from behind in this one, so it should be good game script. Wouldn't mind pairing Emmanuel Sanders with Joe Flacco for cash games. I think that seems kind of safe. Let's see. You'll be tweeting out some plays you like for NBA. Yeah, I'll be tweeting out some plays for the Showdown slate. I'm not going to make, this is only one game, I'm not going to make a video or a live stream, but I will tweet out a couple plays I like for that Showdown slate. Allison is going to go boom, watch. Yeah, I like the upside on Allison and MVS. They definitely get a big boost. Again, Calvin Ridley and Will Fuller in that game. I think those guys can be both pretty popular. A little more boomer bust, but the price tags make them certainly in play here at 4.9K or 4.5K. Dorsett, don't mind that for GPPs at 4.9K. Again, the concern is New England gets off to a big early lead and then just pound the rock. But I do like his upside going up against one of the worst defenses in the league. And then, let's see. Sanu is a guy I never really played for DFS, but I get it if you want to go there. I just don't see the huge upside in him, but 6'7", 6'12 targets. I guess I don't hate the play. And then we get to the cheap options. So 2 guys I really like for cheap options. So first, the cash game play is going to be Auden Tate at 3.5K. Going to be out there basically the whole game. No John Ross. That's a boost to Auden Tate. So he just seems so safe with 10 and 6 targets the last couple of games. Again, one of the worst defenses in the league, Arizona. So really like him for cash games as well as GPPs. That's just way too cheap. He's going to be one of the more popular options, but plugging Auden Tate in gives you the opportunity to spend up on a couple of stud running backs. So again, I think he's going to be really popular, but I like the upside on him. I think he's pretty safe. Now, Keyshawn Johnson's a little bit more risky, but he would be the number 2 guy, in my opinion, for Arizona. So let's go to Arizona wide receivers really quick. Arizona, again, they like running 4 wide receivers sets a lot. So Larry Fitzgerald's obviously the number 1 option. And then it's going to be Keyshawn Johnson, Sherfield. They don't have Pharoh Cooper on here, but he's going to be playing some receiver. And then Andy Isabella, I think, is going to be the number 5 guy. But I think if I was going to target someone other than Larry Fitzgerald, I think I would lean towards Keyshawn Johnson. I like the upside in him. Again, we saw it 5 catches on 10 targets in week 1. I think he's going to be basically out there the whole game, so don't mind him. He's a little riskier, but I like his upside for GPPs. And then Kiki Cutie again. I think he's at, 3.4K. Should be out there for like 50 to 60% of the snaps in a game. There should be a lot of points scored, so don't hate that play. And that's basically it. But yeah, one build I kind of like is just plugging in Auden Tate and plugging in Keyshawn Johnson into your lineup, running it back with a defense, and obviously you're probably going to have a cheaper tight end. Then you can basically fit whoever else you want in that lineup. So don't hate that build for cash or GPPs. Again, Keyshawn Johnson a little riskier. I think Auden Tate's the safer option, but you can definitely play both if you really want to. As far as tight ends go, I still don't have a great feel on the tight ends. Right now, in my lineup, again, I'm only playing GPPs this week. I'm punting the position, but it's just tough. Like, there's no real standout options for me. Ertz, it's just okay. Like, Philly should be playing from a big lead, so, if Ertz doesn't get a touchdown in one of those first few possessions, it could be tough for him to get you there. Evan Ingram and Darren Waller are two guys I really like, but they're in tough matchups. I think the upside's still there, though. Like Darren Waller's no Tyrell Williams. Let's actually go to Oakland really quick. No Tyrell Williams. Let's go to the snap counts for Oakland. Again, Chicago's defense is one of the better, if not the best defenses in the league. But with no Tyrell Williams, there's a lot of snaps to go around. Hunter Renfrow should get some opportunity. Trevor Davis, Keelan Doss too. So if you really want to take a shot on some of these guys, you could. Renfrow should be in line for more work here at 4K. I think he's okay for a safer option. Trevor Davis, Keelan Doss. You're not going to feel great. The matchup's not the best. But just getting back to tight end, there's so many, Tyrell Williams got targeted a lot. So there's a lot of targets to go around. So Darren Waller should eat up a few more of those. He's this guy that, again, 8, 7, 14, 8 targets. He's Oakland's #1 guy, and I know the matchup's tough, but I think you got to still consider him. Mark Andrews is a guy, when he's out there, he's so productive. The concern with him is, again, the foot injury and only playing like 50% of the snaps, and the Baltimore utilizes two other tight ends. Austin Hooper, never a guy I get excited about, but he's had a great start to the year with 9, 6, 7, 11 targets. Again, this one should be pretty high scoring, so I think you got to consider him. I'm not going there, but I get it if you want to go there, 4.5K. He's had a really good start. Jimmy Graham's a guy that intrigues me at 4.3K. With no Devontae Adams, should be lined for an enhanced role. I think he's going to be Aaron Rodgers' safety blanket, so I think he seems kind of safe here at 4.3K. Again, in week 2 and week 3 had 0 catches, but with no Devontae Adams, that's big piece of the offense missing. So I think Jimmy Graham will eat up some of those targets. So I think he's viable in the mid-range. Greg Olsen's okay too. Again, really tough matchup. OJ Howard, I like it for GPPs. We have yet to see the breakout game from him, but we saw it last year. We know he has it in him. We've seen the big play or the big games from Mike Evans and Godwin. Maybe this one's the one for OJ Howard. Again, I still think he has it in him, so for GPPs at 3.9K, don't mind that. Delaney Walker, Vance McDonald, nothing to be excited about. Jared Cook's okay as a cheap option. Eifert's a guy I think is going to be really popular at 3.3K. Arizona's just been destroyed by tight ends. The concern with him, he's only going to be out there like 50% of the snaps. So if you want the pivot for GPPs, again, I think Eifert's going to be really popular. You could go to CJ Uzoma at 2.6K. Doesn't have huge upside. Hasn't caught a ball actually since week 1, but he's still going to be out there like 50% of the time. And with everyone going to Eifert, you could look to CJ Uzoma as a pivot. And then the really cheap option that I'm considering here is, where is he? Noah Fant at 2.8K. It's been pretty safe here with 4, 4, 3, and 4 targets. A couple of catches each game. We have yet to see a breakout game from him, but he's basically playing like 75% of the snaps. Should be good game script. Denver playing from behind. I think a breakout game's coming from him soon, so if I was going to punt the position, I would look to Noah Fant. Again, I think for cash games as GPPs, I think Tyler Eifert's probably going to be the most popular tight end. The concern is that, again, only like 50% of the snaps. And then defenses, the top 3 options seem pretty safe if you have the salary with the Eagles, Bears, and Patriots, all 3 going up against really bad teams. Other defenses I'm considering, the Titans seem pretty safe at 3K. Josh Allen is playing, but still, he's a guy that turns the ball over a decent amount. Really low over-under. I think it's sitting at, 38? 39? Yeah, so Titans definitely viable. And then I think the Raiders are actually solid at 2.7K going up against a backup quarterback. Again, this game should be pretty ugly too. Raiders defense not the best, but just the matchup thing at 2.7. You look to the Chargers too, and then yeah, I don't think I would target any of these really cheap defenses. So that's kind of my thoughts on defense. Tight end for the Redskins should be all right. I think we talked about him. Yeah, I think he's fine. Again, I really don't have a great feel about tight end this week. Oh, Vernon Davis is out. I actually didn't know that. Has been ruled out. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be Jeremy Sprinkle here. He was a guy that... Let me go to Washington really quick. Thanks for bringing that up. I actually didn't know Vernon Davis was out. But yeah, it's going to be Sprinkle that's probably going to play most of the game. And he's a guy that does have some upside. He's like 6'5". He's pretty athletic. He's a younger guy. So in a game that Washington should be playing from behind in, I don't hate the idea of punting with Jeremy Sprinkle. That's a good call. Sprinkle and Jerome Cunningham. Yeah, I don't think I would go to Jerome Cunningham. I think a lot of the snaps are going to go to Jeremy Sprinkle. So I think he's actually, if you want to punt the position, I think I would either go to Sprinkle, Noah Fant, or Tyler Eifert if you're punting tight end. But yeah, good call on that one. I think he's definitely in play at 2.5K. Again, the game script should be good. Washington should be playing from behind in this one, so don't hate that idea. Okay, so as far as game stacks go, if you guys didn't watch my game stack video, there's a few games that I really like. I think my favorite right now is Arizona Cincy, but it's risky. Like this game could turn into a low grinded out scoring grinded out game. Like the way I see it happening is if Cincinnati gets off to an early lead, that's kind of a bad thing for this game for the game stack because then I think Cincinnati could just hand it off to Mixon, play it slow. Arizona's going to play fast no matter what. So I think if Arizona gets off to an early lead, that would be perfect for this game. Could turn into a shootout. So it's a game, again, two really bad teams, but two really bad defenses. So I do like that game as part of the game stack. There's cheap options with those receivers. There's mid-tier options with Fitzgerald and Boyd that I think seem really safe, and the two running backs as well. So I like a lot of pieces in that game. Atlanta-Houston's probably one of the safer games to target for game stack. Again, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan seem pretty safe. The two top wide receivers with Julio and DeAndre Hopkins. You could also look to the cheaper options with Ridley and Fuller. A little more boomer bust, but the price tag makes them in play. And then Tampa Bay, New Orleans too. I feel a little bit better probably playing Jameis over Bridgewater, but the price tag for Bridgewater still makes them in play. Again, the Tampa Bay receivers have a lot of upside. Michael Thomas is a guy that seems really safe for cash games. Don't think I would go with Ted Ginn or Traquan Smith there. And then the running backs, Kamara. I don't think I would go there for cash games or for GPPs. Now, Ronald Jones at 4.6, it has looked really good, but still a three-headed monster. Tampa Bay still utilizes three backs, so I just don't really want to play a running back in a three-headed monster. But I think Ronald Jones is going to take over as a lead back soon for Tampa Bay. And then other games for game stacks, Green Bay, Dallas. Could turn into a shootout here. Again, I like the running backs a lot with Zeke and Aaron Jones. But the wide receivers, Amari Cooper seems pretty safe at 6.8K with upside. And then Allison and MVS. As far as the number 3 wide receiver for Green Bay, don't have a great feel on who's it going to be. It could be Kumaro, could be Shepard, could be Lazard. So probably a situation I stay away from as far as that number 3 receiver for Green Bay. And then you could look to Denver and the Chargers as well. Phillip Rivers obviously the safer option, but for Joe Flacco, again, at 4.7K, I think he's viable for cash games. The running backs is a situation I'm most likely going to stay away from. Lindsey and Freeman, it's an even split. Melvin Gordon's going to get some time, which is a downgrade to Eckler, but I still think Eckler is viable for GPPs because, again, the Chargers are pretty thin at wide receiver. He could get some snaps out wide. As far as the wide receivers go, it's Keenan Allen and it's Emmanuel Sanders for me, and that's basically it. I don't think I want to go with any of these cheaper options. Keenan Allen for cash games is going to be really popular. Sanders, you could look to Sanders, stack pairing him with Joe Flacco for cash games. I think that seems pretty safe. But those are kind of the games I'm eyeing, again, with my favorite being Arizona and Cincinnati. I think the most popular one's going to be Atlanta, Houston, and then those couple other games that I mentioned as well. But yeah, we got, 20 minutes until lock. So If you guys have any last minute questions, I'll be happy to answer. But other than that, I might hop off a little early here because kind of ran out of things to talk about. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any last minute questions. If not, I might get off a few minutes early here. If you guys are enjoying the content too, if you're new to the stream, hit the subscribe button. We got new videos up basically every single day, NFL as well as NBA. But yeah, let's see. What else can I really talk about here? I think that's about it. So if you guys don't have any last minute questions, I might hop off here. Really do appreciate you guys coming to check out the stream. I will have a Sunday night showdown video up after the stream. I'm probably going to make it, so be on the lookout for that. We actually have a pretty good game, I think, for Sunday Night Football, right? It's, yeah, Colts-Chiefs, so that's a game. Really high over-under. That's going to be an exciting one, so be on the lookout for that. My channel should be up in the next hour, but really excited for that one. Should be a lot of points scored, so I will have that up, as well as probably my NBA preseason look for Monday. We have a 4-game slate, so I'll probably have that up later as well. And then the Monday night showdown slate game with Browns and 49ers. Again, that's a game, or that's a video where I will announce the winner to the giveaway. If you're new to the stream or videos, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in one of my videos throughout the week, and that's one entry into the giveaway. And you can enter it however many videos up for the week. So if I have 10 videos up for the week, you can enter it 10 times. And again, the winner, I'm going to announce it in my Monday night showdown slate video with the Browns and 49ers. Maybe I might make that later tonight, so I have that up for Monday morning. Let's see. Does Cantor have a role with his new team in the NBA? Yeah, I think Cantor, going to get some minutes for Boston. Don't really know how the rotation is going to work out, but I like the upside on him. I mean, anytime the guy gets minutes, he has huge upside. Deontay Johnson with Juju in. Don't hate Deontay Johnson. He's a guy I didn't talk about. Let me go to Pittsburgh really quick. Yeah, don't hate him. I mean, he's had 2 pretty solid weeks here with 6 and 6 targets, 14 and 18 fantasy points. Again, the concern is Pittsburgh just seemed like they were going to play a really conservative offense with Mason Rudolph. I thought they would let him air it out a little bit more. But if you watch that Monday night game, it was just a lot of quick, short passes. They like targeting the running backs. They use the Wildcat, too. So, I mean, that is a concern. But at 4.4K, he's definitely in play for sure. But, yeah, I think that's about it, guys. So, again, thank you guys so much for coming to check out the stream. I'll have a few videos up later with the Sunday night showdown slate video, as well as the NBA preseason, and probably the Monday night showdown slate video too. So probably 3 videos up today, so be on the lookout for that. And with that out of the way, I think I'm going to hop off here. So thanks again, guys, for coming to check out the stream, and I will see you guys later.